Growth, the process of increasing in size. A feature that is both individual, intrinsic, and throughout nature.
This is going to be so interesting, you know.
This is the moment we have been waiting for.
I'm feeling it now.
What has come before is now consigned to the history books. This new decade brings new challenges, new rivals, falling giants, and new beginnings.
Bang, bang, bang! 3 shots to the heart.
Oh,
in the back end. Oh, no!
Those who are climbing will meet. Who will fall by the wayside, and who will embody growth.
There's still wheel to wheel!
That is unbelievable!
League of Europe, grow or fade.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers, and sisters. Welcome to the League of Europe, season number 3. It is time for Spain. We are here at Barcelona for 16 drivers to take to this amazing course in the burning heat of the Spanish sun. I am King Kodiak, and I'm glad to be back in the commentary box of League of Europe alongside the world's best Badger. Welcome along, Badger Man. Are you with me, sir?
I am with you indeed. Every single time you say that, it just makes me smile. Thank you so much for that. Before we go on track qualifying, he's already underway, but a lot of drivers just on out laps. Let's quickly look at the championship standings. It's only 2 rounds that have come and gone, and QVR Cookie has won both of them. A very, very dominating performance so far by Cookie, and if he wins the third one, I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles. And with that awful, awful pun, I can only apologize for myself here, but we are going to head on to track here. You see the standings, Velo second, LTU third. Let's head on to track and see what is going on.
I shake my head at you disapproving.
For some reason, there you go. Now the game is coming up. It took a second there for my OBS to actually pick up the game, but it has done so now, and we can actually see NSR Richards in P1 on a lap. He's not the only one. We've got Sven already out. What has happened there?
I think he either binned it into turn 3, into turn 4 rather, because I did see a stationary spot out there, or he retired this, very early in the session. I think but that's a very odd place to retire. There's a lot of gravel out there, but I guess he kind of forgot the brake pedal or had some kind of technical fault as, he banzaied into the wall at turn 4. So we don't know really quite what's happened there, but a few people on time laps here. NSO Richards, Super Noob, few new names, few returning names, good to see. As well, Velo, as well, of course, very, very hot property. Velo was Mercedes, if I remember last time out.
Yeah.
And Cookie is first on the board, so Velo is in the Alfa Romeo this time. Cookie with a 1:14.756 on the medium tyres, and the people's banker laps are a couple of seconds behind that. My word, Cookie means business.
Yeah, he really does. Very, very strong time there already. And that medium tire might actually be really good for the race, because medium tire for the race, pretty good race tire, gotta say. The soft, not so much. Doesn't last very long. The soft tire lasts around 8 laps in this race. It's gonna be 33 for the whole race. The medium lasts 15, the hard lasts 20. So if they do go on to the soft tire, it's almost guaranteed to be a 2-stop. Whereas on the medium, you could do a 1-stop medium to hard, and the medium tire also only 5.5 tenths slower than the soft. So it's not that much. Usually we have other tracks where you have the medium tire just a second, 1.1, even so far as 1.4 seconds slower than the softs. Not here. Only 5.5 tenths, a very competitive tire, and it lasts just that much longer.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to gab like that, not on such a short lap or comparatively short lap that they have here at Barcelona, as there's been an incident. Oh, I just saw one of the Mercs going the wrong way. It was D. Parry over at turn 7-8, that chicane. He got that one wrong, and in trying to spin turn round. I did spot him going the wrong way, trying to get himself righted up. But it's QVR at the top 2 spots, the Alfa Romeo pair of Cookie and Sneaky. So Sneaky's about 1.5 tenths off of Cookie's time on the softer tyre as well. So, wow, I didn't really expect to see such gaps going on. Black Panther slots into 3rd with a 15.8. So bearing in mind that these times are going to change as time goes on. I beg your pardon, that's the Haas pair up front. J. Cole, our Commander-in-Chief, here for the PC side of League of Europe. He's just coming through the last few turns now. His teammate right behind him, Velo.
Oh, he's invalidated.
Oh, on that last turn as well was where it went wrong there. Velo has dived into the pit as well. What's Kango Con up to? He is Merckx. Actually, so Merckx and Kango Con, 2 names, returning names from last season, are in the McLaren pair. Merckx in 4th with a 16.0. What does Kango Con get on the board? Kango Con, I remember, was in a Ferrari last time around, and that's 4th and 5th for the McLaren pair. It's 16.5.
Yeah, pretty good lap. J. Cole, meanwhile, just to add that here at the end, if he had not invalidated that first lap, it would have been a 1:15.4, which would have put him in P3 ahead of Black Panther and only behind those 2 QVR drivers. As I think we're going to try and catch someone on an out lap who's going to start one soon in just a second. I think Super Noob might be the first one to do so. He is. Or is it? No, actually, Rayman is going to be the first one. There's also... Or is it Ollie? No, Ollie is behind. So Rayman is going to be the first one. And we are going to go on a hot lap here on the TV camera and see what this track is about. So long main straight. For some reason, it still says outlap in the top right. No more. There we go. And you see here, 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds until you break. 100-meter board, you want to take that inside curve. This one, you usually don't want to take that much. Depends a bit on the setup. Turn 3, you're trying to be flat out. Doesn't always work, especially in the race, but in qualifying it should. Turn 4, brake late, trail braking, huge here. You need to carry a lot of speed into the corner. Turn 5, almost the same thing applies here. Lots of trail braking. Early on the throttle, that's a bit too early for Raymond there, almost spins. Now heading to 7 and 8, tricky, easy to lose the car, like the Mercedes does in front. That's not what you want to see, and Raymond has invalidated turn 9. We can still go through that. That's usually almost flat out. Can be flat out. D-Parry has been disqualified after that spin for going the wrong way, it seems. Trying to get unstuck there. Then this second DRS straight heading into turn 11. Great overtaking opportunity here. Not the best, but the second best. And now we get to the twisty bits. Turn 12. Don't touch that inside curve. Turn 13, the right-hander here. Long, almost never ending. Now 14. And of course, it is very slow here for Raymond because he has about it. And then 15, 16. You can invalidate here, but running too wide. Don't want to do that. And then the final corner is flat out in qualifying and the race as Raymond is on his way back into the pit lane. And I really want this awful low rev engine sound to stop. So let's go ahead and look at Super Noob. His first lap on the track, 17.3, slots into P9.
Indeed. So he's just done his lap. Who's out there? Black Panther and the other, Aston Martin, has now started lap. Currently third with a 15.814. Now, Cookie has... Now, both the QVR guys are coming back out on soft tyres, as one of the Red Bulls has gotten out of Black Panther's way. I think was that Rashad's? No, that was Super Noob, because Super Noob's going very slowly, having just done his hot lap. Now, Black Panther, I recall, didn't have a great season. Was kind of towards the lower end of the points-paying positions, but it's good to see him towards the sharper end of the field. Still a lot of people yet to set a time, of course. A lot of people considering the medium tyre at this point, it would seem. So Raymond, Velo, Ollie, RJW. I recognise the name. Who's that other? Who's he otherwise known as? RJW.
Now you're putting me on the spot.
I remember RJW, but I can't remember what else we knew him as.
I can't either.
No, never mind. Cookie has just done purple sector 1. He's been chased by one of the Alfa Romeos. They're both on out laps anyway, so that's fairly irrelevant.
Oh, big slide there for Cookie through 7 and 8, but he held the car just enough there. They're really on the
through 9.
They're really on the knife's edge. The cars this year, this game, a lot more difficult to drive. As someone who has done at least one full 100% race distance, the 305 kilometers around every single circuit, I can tell you, some of these tracks are very difficult, and certainly Spain is. And validation there for Cookie.
On the very last corner again, and it's so easy to do, having virtually raced at Barcelona, not in single-seaters, but generally in something. Usually GT cars, it's so easy. You want to be able to push that last corner because you're on the gas for such a long period of time. Best part 10 seconds, as you were saying earlier, Badger. So you want to be getting that exit absolutely spot on. Just didn't quite work out for Cookie. Here comes Sneaky then through that last turn. Didn't use all the track at all. And it is pole for QVR. Well, still pole for QVR. They've now swapped around a 1:14.679. And still time on the board, though, that could be procured. What about Ollie? He's currently 4th with a 15.9. He's on the medium tyre. I don't know whether it's this set that he did that time on, but it was on a medium set as he's coming in now. I would indicate here that was the tyre he just set that time on. Nice, he's on 15.923.
It certainly was that tyre because the drivers only get one set of medium tyres in qualifying, but 3 sets of the soft. So with the softs there can be confusion, with the mediums not so much, as RJW comes across the line in P5 with a 1:16.0, a 10th behind Ollie on the same tyre. And pretty much on the same pace as Black Panther, if we exclude that tyre disadvantage, as there goes Velo. Whoa! That's a 14.8 on the mediums.
Wow.
Cookie and Sneaky have a challenger.
Oh, yeah, they do. A 15.7 from Rayman. The Astons are 4th and 5th now. Great lap from the second Aston Martin there to slot him into 5th position. 5.5 minutes to go. Sneaky has, he's just going very, very slowly. Dan Field, my co-commentator at PSGL, has jumped on board a little bit late to the party. I'm certain he was in the lobby earlier, but he must have had some technical difficulties. Hopefully we'll see him later on. Sit still, Dan. Velo, what a storming time. But then how many times did we see this? We thought the pole was secured and suddenly Velo then showed up. And on the medium tire, just 2/10, almost to the number, behind Sneaky on the soft tires. Interesting mixture as well. We're coming close to the Banzai phase and we're seeing a mixture of tires used. Have people been listening to your wise words of wisdom, Mr. Badger?
I think they've just been testing and came to the same conclusion. I don't think that anyone would listen to me and my wise words, but I think they just drawn the same conclusion with the tires. The soft tire is just not worth it around here. You can try and go for a one-stop, which of course around almost every circuit on 50%, you would have to, because you just lose way too much time in the pit lane. The only exceptions to that, I think, would be Canada, where you literally cut out about 4 corners on pit entry and exit combined. And I don't know if there is any other track where you could go for a 2-stop. I think maybe Azerbaijan, also only 16.5 seconds lost in the pit lane, which is quite surprising considering the speeds at which the cars thunder past the pit lane in Azerbaijan. But nonetheless, a 2-stop is viable there. And Singapore, a 2-stop is viable because the softs just don't last around there at all.
Dan Field is on the field. That had to be used at some point. He's in the AlphaTauri and he has come out, and J. Cole as well. We have not seen a lap from J. Cole. Now, J. Cole's been sat in the pits. He's not been lapping. So they've both left it very, very late to get in and get on with it. So we'll see what they are able to do. Black Panther has come out again in the lead. Aston Martin, he is on soft tyres this time. 15.485 his time. sees him in 4th position, but he's got a big gap to close between himself and Velo, which is nothing to be upset about because we know from last season how quick Velo is. And the fact, as you were saying earlier, that Cookie is lit up the championship so far already. We are in for some amazing racing going on. Let's see what Mr. Field can get on the board. As he's
I think this is an outlap. I think it's a glitch and this is an outlap. He's about to start his lap. Yeah, 2 minutes 10. That's a bit much. I don't think that will count. This is, it's an outlap. But J. Cole is on a run right now. He's not the only one, actually. We have Lucky Finger in P10 right now, but he is already down 4.5 tenths on his own time. So let's see, Sniper owns. Maybe he's coming to the chicane, to the last chicane of the circuit, and spins into the pit entry. And that is his time over and done with. Then we've got, Rashaz we have, and he's up by 1/10.5. It's just enough to beat Sniper Owns here and get that position up to P11. J. Cole, however, I think you always have to look at a driver with his credentials here, as KangaCon retires in the pit lane. He might have left it too late. I don't know what's going on. He just retired in the pit lane, so he's had enough. J. Cole on the mediums, P6. Best of the medium runners that are still on the mediums. Of course, if we look, both Cookie and Velo, as well as Raymond, have all set their fastest lap so far on the medium tire. Sneaky on the softs. So it's going to be a battle, I think, between Cookie and Velo here over the win. We'll see what is going to happen. Do we have any other drivers? RJW? No, not RJW. Dan Field just crossed the line. 117.8. We have an Aston Martin off, and that would be Black Panther. Yeah, he went off turn 9. Turn 9 and 10 is that. I don't know which one it is, but the right-hander.
That's 9. The fast right-hander is turn 9.
There you go.
It's the slow left is turn 10.
There you go.
Only because I've tried to hot lap this track many times, and he's done bouncing over the bollards into the pits. Comes Black Panther to retire his car. Who can we keep an eye on? Who's the lead of the two? So J. Cole, he's off again. So he's done a lap on those tires and has wound up for another run as Sniper has parked his car. We'll see. It's pretty much everybody except for Ollie that is still in session is on a... Lucky Finger, who's just retired his car, was the only odd one out there. So Sneaky. Cookie is just winding up for a lap himself. Velo is on one. And just like I said that, J. Cole has binned it into turn 1. So that's his day done. Unless because his fuel light's on, he may have just been giving Velo a bit of a slipstream, which don't often see actually at Barcelona, but the straight's long enough to do that. So that may well have been what Jacob was doing, as he'd already done a lap on those tyres and didn't seem to have enough fuel. Oh, Cookie! He must have binned it. He must have just invalidated the lap, so he will do no more. Oh, Velo! Gar really misbehaving. He's pushing hard, coming through turn 9, now into 10. The car had a big old snap. He's very wide coming through 10. I don't think this is going to be any better for him, but I'm getting that engine glitch as well. It is very annoying. But he's done on that one. And the checker flag is out, so Velo will not improve on that one. What can Sneaky do? He's just coming in to the final couple of turns. And it's, again, so easy. We've seen many a lap already invalidated in this session at those turns. Again, he's not using all of the road, but that doesn't matter. That's increased his pole advantage by another half a tenth. So 1:14.602 for Sneaky is, I wouldn't imagine Rashaz. No, he's coming back into the grid. It's set.
Yeah, it is set. Sneaky on the soft tire, on the worst tire with the pole position here. He will have quite a bit of trouble, I think, in the race, either going for a 2-stop, soft, medium, or for the tricky 1-stop, soft to hard. It's possible, but it's very, very tough to pull off. We'll see what he can do. Cookie, Velo, Merkt came in late to go up to P4, and he will start on the medium tire as well. Black Panther then in P5 will start on the softs. P6 to P9, Raymond, J. Cole, Ollie, and RJW all on the mediums as well. And then finally P10 also on the soft tire. Of course, those outside the top 10 will have free tire choice for the start of the race. It's going to be interesting with the tire lottery here, but a Portuguese pole position on the Iberian Peninsula. It is Sneaky getting pole ahead of Cookie. Velo third, Merc fourth, Black Panther, Raymond, J. Cole, Ollie, RJW, Richards, Kangakon, Lucky Finger, Sniper Own, Super Noob, Danfield, and finally Sven, no time, retired very early in the session, and D. Perry got disqualified for going the wrong way after spinning. And that will be our grid for the third race of the season.
If you were outside of the top 10, what strategy would you go with, assuming a dry race?
Starting on the hards. I not take any prisoners there. The hards aren't that bad. They are 1.1 seconds slower than the softs and 5.5 tenths slower than the mediums. So, you know, they're not the best, but what they are is quite durable. 20 laps on those hard tires, easily possible. Potentially even more. So definitely the hard tire, especially if you're that far down the field, you're not trying to overtake anyone. You're just trying to go long, get carried around in DRS, and then later on you're going to try to overtake all these cars through the main straight mostly, and at the end of the main straight on DRS, because otherwise it's quite tricky to pull off overtakes. But that's the beauty of this track, I feel like, at least on the game. It's a very different IRL, but on the game, the beauty is that if you do have more grip, there's quite a few corners where you can overtake. It's just not as easy if all the cars are basically the same, but if you are quicker, you can do it into turn 4. If you get a better run through 3, you get pulled along, you can do it into turn 4. You possibly can continue through 5 and complete it there. You can also do it, obviously, into turn 10 if you get the better run through 9. So, couple overtaking opportunities possible if you are on that much of a better tire than everyone else. So, I would go for the hard tire to just set myself up for the late stages of this race.
So I got slightly distracted there. I'm assuming you're staring at the same screen that I am, the pit lane. Now, right in the middle of my screen is Super Noob's garage.
Yes.
And I briefly read that as SpongeBob.
I can see that, but it is Super Noob.
It's definitely Super Noob.
That is amusing. But yeah, it's the all Norwegian team there as well. Both drivers from Norway in Super Noob and Richards, as the drivers are heading onto the formation. I think Mercked almost ran into the back of Cookie there on the start. Let's actually, nope, not the telemetry. We need the lap data and we need the tires. That is the most important part. And we see, of course, only one person has taken your wise words. And Kangakon's run with it. Everyone else outside of the top 10 has gone for the medium tires. So that's going to leave Sneaky, Black Panther, and especially Richards in a very awkward position as they're on those very, very spongy and partly worn soft tires. So, predictive pit strategy, no one's going to be running that. So we can ignore that. I mean, Sneaky, I wouldn't be surprised if the soft runners go for a 2-stop soft, medium, medium.
Maybe, I suppose. But either way, the hards will run about 20 laps.
Yes.
Give or take. So we're expecting, about 6 or 7 on the softs?
Roughly. It's 8 altogether, but of course these are worn soft tires. They've been used in qualifying, and so 6 to 7 is usually what you would expect out of them. For the mediums, for those outside the top 10, I'd say up to 15, probably slightly less, closer to 13, 14. For those inside the top 10, certainly 13 at maximum, I would say. Maybe they're going to try and stretch it to 14. Maybe they'll go earlier. Maybe they go 12 or 11 and hope that they can make the hard tires last a bit longer. But we'll see how it goes. I think if we want to put some pit windows on it for the soft drives, as you said, 6 or 7. For the medium runners, somewhere between 12, 11 if you feel really risky, and 15. And for the hard runner, KangoKon, around lap 17 or 18.
Awesome stuff. Right, the grid doth form for round 3 of season 3 here at League of Europe on the PC side. 17 drivers ready to do battle in the heat of Barcelona. Look at the heat haze coming off the cars. Lights come on. We know this process. It is time to wind them up and let them go. And who is going to have the best start? A decent start pretty much throughout the field. One of the Astons a little bit slow. Rayman was a bit hesitant, I think. Oh, no, Black Panther was a little bit hesitant. Valo had a great start, but nowhere to use it. As Mark goes, impact between... That was Velo and Cookie that's come together. That's going to give Sneaky an opportunity to just run off into the distance. But Cookie's recovered into third. Merck now up into second. Velo is miles down the field. He is down to 9th place. Did he lose a bit of his front wing? Or was he just being hesitant returning to the track? His front wing looks okay. Looks to be diving on the inside of RJW. Gets that one done. My word. Already pandemonium. But it looks like no one has spun. It's just that one impact being the major one. Everyone has survived so far.
Yeah, and I think Velo does have some kind of damage. Maybe not on the front wing. Maybe there is damage, though, to the side of the car, to the barge boards of the car, because he seems to struggle with a bit of downforce through the corners, and that impact certainly was the reason why. And I was looking at it, and I think what happened was that Cookie did exactly what I said on the hot lap that we looked at. You want to avoid the inside curb in turn 1, and I think Cookie got that inside curb and slightly hit it, and that made him lose control of it. He had to counter steer. Unfortunately, that's exactly where Velo was, and those two made significant contact. Velo does stay out, but I'm pretty sure he has some kind of damage. I would be surprised if Cookie doesn't. So I think both drivers with a bit of issues here early on in the race.
Could well be. So Merckx is really fending off the advances of Cookie at this point in time, as actually both cars getting very, very quickly at different times. 1.1 second lead now for Sneaky on those soft tires. He's doing exactly what he needs to do and just run off into the distance, but Merck is really struggling to get those medium tires to behave themselves. He was very, very locked, losing traction here, there and everywhere. Oh, who's that at the back? D. Parry has had an issue again. He's quite some way off the back of the field. KangoKon on those hard tires is up into 10th place now. Just as I've said that, he's had a problem and he's under AI control. Oh no, that's commentator cursing the worst degree. He was 10th, literally at the beginning of the sentence, and he's now down into 16th position. So, yeah, well, chalk that one up to the commentator's curse. Rashaz has not had a great start. He's back up into 12th though. He was down to 14th. At the beginning, the end of the first lap, but he calls those soft tires are not going to last long. So into the pits comes KangoKon. So did he have a nip? Oh, he's out. Oh, that was a shame. I was looking forward to seeing how his strategy was going to play out, but he's retired the car. First casualty of the night.
Yeah, I think he's had enough after that incident there, and he just parks it in the garage. That's his race done. And he might not be the only one. I think we might see some more later on. It's a 33-lap race. Quite a long race, this one. And just to put into perspective the pace around this circuit, we're talking about 214 kilometers an hour average lap speed for what we would expect the fastest lap of the race to be. And certainly the fastest lap of the real-life Spanish Grand Prix is sitting at around 214 kilometers an hour. It's right in the middle. It's 33 laps, but it's a very short circuit, and we see that from the lap times in qualifying as well as now in the race. Sneaky posting a 1 minute 18.8, so under 1 minute and 20 around this track. Multiply that by 33 and you get around 44 minutes, so let's make that 45, maybe with a pit stop or a safety car. Could even go up to 50 possibly. So that's roughly what we can expect here from the drivers. Pretty much a 90-minute race if you take it the whole 305 kilometers.
Cookie has managed to usurp Merckx. He's back up into second position now. So it's a Haas 1-2. At this stage, Merckx is, of course, on the tail of Cookie at the moment. Rayman is not far behind, so the DRS train is from second down to ninth at the moment, with Sven in 10th position, about 4 seconds behind the top pack. So now everybody's settling into their rhythms. It's not going to be too much longer before the soft starters will be in to ditch those worn softs. Oh, big lockup for Rayman there as they're coming into turn 10. And that's going to allow his teammate to close in a little bit on him. It's, at the moment, 1.5 seconds, just over that, 1.6 seconds separating the two up front. I'm curious to see how the performance of Merckx. Now they run into turn 1 is going to be the prime opportunity for an overtake, especially if the one you're chasing doesn't have DRS. See if Merckx has an answer to Cookie. Unless he's going to banzai it. No, he's not going to throw it from that far back. But that's going to be his best opportunity, I'd have thought, to try and overhaul Cookie. But Cookie's doing a brilliant job of just building enough of a gap between himself and Merckx to maintain that second position. That's allowing Sneaky. Well, I was about to say it's allowing him to run off into the distance, but that gap really hasn't increased. So it could well be that the best of those soft tyres are already gone.
Yeah, most likely. We saw Sneaky gain about half a second early on in the race per lap. That has completely stalled at this point, and there's no gain or loss anymore. So at this point, yeah, the soft tires are not at their best anymore. The medium tires still holding up incredibly fine, and they should only get better with each lap as well. So expect some green sectors from those medium runners, but Sneaky should be making his way into the pit lane rather shortly. Not yet, but it should be anytime soon. I would say next lap or the lap after that.
Fair enough. And trouble for Sven. Oh, he's ghosted in the Williams. Oh, he's losing position. He's still going on. So there's an issue with
There's more trouble for Cookie and Merckx. Here they go into turn 1. And Cookie doesn't really fight it too much, surprisingly. I thought he would have put up a little bit more of a fight. But around the outside, you're always playing a losing game, really, in turn 1 there here at Spain. And Merckx takes the position off of Cookie up into P2.
Yeah, that's exactly how Cookie got that position in the first place. Rayman's got a great ringside seat for what's going on here, and that's trouble further down. That's Dan Fields off. Oh, he's spun it on the exit of turn 2. He's facing the wall in the AlphaTauri. Now got that one going. Oh, what a shame. He was very late to qualifying, and it would seem he's really struggling to get any consistent pace out of his car at the moment. But jumping back up to that second place battle was the Concertina up going through turn 10. They always wince. They always get so very close. See, Merckx has not been able to build up a gap in sector 3 between himself and Cookie that Cookie was able to build up on Merckx. So I would imagine we're going to see these positions swap round. Is the lead house going to come in? No, not yet. So Sneaky going for another lap. And you can see the McLaren's gone for, well, he started to go for that defensive line, but has now returned to the racing line. New fastest lap has gone McLaren's way. There goes Cookie on the inside, and was a little late to the move, and Cookie's having to go at him. Can he get it done before turn 3? Yes, he can. Now, because Cookie was so late with the move, it compromised his run through turn 2. And wow, great move from Merckx. He's managed to regain that set. I honestly thought that was going to go Cookie's way. And we're seeing Richards come in. So he's he was one of the soft starters. He is coming now for a set of mediums. That's going to be a 2-stop strategy for the Red Bull.
Yeah, great move there by Merckx. He saw exactly what was happening with Cookie, and he was like, you know what, you want to break late? Hey, sure, be my guest. I'll get you back through turn 2 and 3. And that's exactly what happened there as Cookie shows himself in the mirrors of Merckx, but no opportunity there just yet. In order to overtake down the main straight, you need to be within, I would say, 0.5 of a second of the car ahead. 5.5, it gets tricky and it gets really close. 5, you make it easy. 0.6, it's almost not possible anymore. And Merckx now actually has the advantage because he will get DRS There is the rear wing open, so he gets DRS off of Sneaky. At this point, these medium runners behind a P2, P3, P4, they are faster than Sneaky. So at this point, for Sneaky to stay out, not really viable. He will be swallowed up by this group very, very quickly.
He will indeed. Danfield's had another spin, unfortunately, that's has undone his progress. And Velo, new front wing going on the Alfa Romeo. So he was wounded as we thought, and it's hard tyres for him. Championship contender last season. And out he comes to start his next lap, because he's going to find himself very much in the middle of nowhere. Rashaz, who's just been through the pits, will be with him. Well, not quite. Well, sort of. He's within a second between those two. So they carry on their merry way. And look at the top four. They've really condensed up. Now, Raymond's a little bit off the back of Cookie. Locks up a tad into turn 10. Yeah, Sneaky is going to be a sitting duck if he chooses to continue from this point. Like you said, I wasn't surprised he didn't come in last time around, because he's just lost well over half a second in this one lap alone. Is he going to come in this time? Surely. No! He's stretching that one out. Oh, I can't see that's going to work somehow. Super Noob's had a spin. He's had a spin at turn 10. He's now got himself going again. Ollie with the fastest lap. That's the
Oh, they battle over P2. They battle over P2. Cookie down the inside. And this time he doesn't go too deep. Merc can't get him this time around the outside. And it's a QVR 1-2 again. And maybe this is why Sneaky stayed out. Because I'm pretty sure those two are talking right now. And if now Cookie can get past Sneaky and Merc can't, then there's an opportunity for Cookie to just drive away, pull off a 1 second gap maybe, have Sneaky as the rear gunner, and that might be what Cookie needs to get his third victory in a row here this season, make it 3 out of 3 to start the season. We'll see how that goes. Right now, Sneaky's still ahead, but I think those two will swap positions on the main straight. However, I also think Sneaky will really have to pull into the pits rather shortly. He's playing a very, very dangerous game with the tires right now. Surely they're already in puncture territory. He is lucky to not have a puncture. He stays out again. Are you serious?
He's giving DRS to his teammate. That's, I think, the other part of the strategy. It's helping keep Cookie ahead of Merc. Is it going to be enough as Black Panther has come in? And yeah, there you go. Look at the speed difference between the two. Merc had no answer to Cookie whatsoever. Sneaky, exactly as you said there, Batman. He's just playing the rear gunner. He's giving his teammate DRS. I would imagine if Cookie does get close to him, Sneaky's not going to fight him too hard. But that's going to be a really hard position for Sneaky to try and slot himself in between Cookie and Merc. And also, you can't ignore the fact that Rayman in the Aston Martin is right there with him. Now, Ollie behind them has got the fastest lap at the moment. He got that one last time around. I believe he did. Yes, he did. So Ollie got into the 17th last lap. And Jay Collins opened the penalty scoring. He was pretty good at keeping the penalty count down last season, but he's the first on the board this time. And also, Cookie's car is all over the place. Well, the tail, I should say, of his car is all over the place. So Cookie's really struggling, it looks like, but he's maintaining the pace he needs to. Trouble in sector 2. There's Black Panther. He's just been through the pits. Oh, no, those hard tyres are not the temperature.
Sneaky into the pit lane. Sneaky into the pit lane now. 10 laps in. And I think that's going to be the hard tyre. Let's check. I'm pretty sure that will be the hard tyre for the Haas driver from QVR. Let's see, it's a very late pit lane here, a very late pit box actually for the Haas. No, it's medium. Surely not. Surely not a soft to medium one stop. I cannot believe that they're trying that. There's no way that that's gonna work. I don't think that is the way to go. Maybe he can pull that off, but I'd be very surprised. But Mark said in the chat, look for some to pull medium to soft. I can't believe it that Sneaky is actually going to try that. I don't think it is possible. I mean, you need superb tire management if you want to pull that off, and a little bit of luck that tire does not pop at 75-80% tire wear.
Oh, trouble again. Is that Black Panther? No, it's not. Who's spun? Somebody has.
That's Dan Field. Oh no, it's RJW. Yeah, it's RJW. I thought it was Dan. One of the AlphaTauris.
It was RJW this time. It spun on the exit of turn 10. He's just got himself a penalty, actually, so I would imagine it was all part of the same incident. And Ollie is in. Only 10 laps on those medium tyres. Curious. So in he comes in the Mercedes. Softs? Okay. Well, exactly as you just said, someone was going to make that. That's a.
No. That's very different here. You can't make those soft tires last 22 laps. I can promise you that. That is definitely not going to work. Ollie will have to pit again. I don't know what exactly that strategy call is. I think what's happened here is something that is quite notorious on this game, more so than on previous games. The previous games, the tire temperatures weren't really too affected by your setup. On this game, it's very different. You can have a great setup for qualifying. The moment you get to the race, all of a sudden, those tire temps are through the roof, and you will just slide around and you will have no grip because the tires are just constantly above the 105 degrees Celsius threshold, at which point they will lose a lot of grip through every single corner.
Cookie is trying his best to build that gap up front. He's right on the cusp of breaking DRS to the McLaren. He didn't do it this time around, but he's almost there. He's almost managed to get that second gap that he needs to basically throw Merc to the wolves. Now that DRS has allowed the McLaren. Oh, and Rayman shot off that turn one. Oof. Way too deep down. That's a little harsh, but that is he's just got that penalty on the board. Oh dear, that's a shame. But that's freed up Merc to really chase off after Cookie. Then Merc wasn't really doing the defensive moves, but it doesn't really matter if you know someone's right behind you. It's a distraction in itself. So we'll see what they do. Cookie, the gap about 7/10 or so between the two, and Sven has retired his car. He's left the session. That's a shame. He was also struggling a little bit. Ollie on those soft tyres just flew past Lucky Finger on the way down to turn 5. You don't often get a move down there, as he's now on the back of Lucky Finger. And you would imagine he's going to make short work of him pretty quickly. Now Merc is a bit closer to Cookie. Oh, Cookie looked like he was a little bit deep coming into the penultimate turn. Ollie's already dispatched of a Lucky Finger for 6th position. Here comes Merc. Yep, Cookie's got no answer to that. Look at the overspeed. It's stuck to the racing line. My word, that's confident. So back up into the lead is Merc now. This is going to be a fight all the way to the line. Rayman can't get involved. He's too far back. But wow, McLaren versus Haas. You don't often find those combinations fighting for glory. As Ollie, unsurprisingly, has got the fastest lap with those soft tyres. Well, I mean, he'll get him the fastest lap, I'd have thought. But as far as overall position is concerned, we will see.
Yeah, we will. What it looks like right now is that there will certainly be no doors smashed this time around in the Haas paddock. But it's not yet the win. It's not yet the win. They are battling very hard. As there's a yellow flag, and that is for D. Parry, I think. Yeah. Who is off on the exit of turn 10, and he's staying out of trouble here to make sure that he's not rejoining in anyone's way, and now the top 4 are past him, and he can pick up some racing speed again. He is a lap down at this point, and yeah, not the best race for him. 14 laps in, already lapped. We'll see if he continues. I gotta say, I always quite like drivers that, despite having some issues. We see Everett Charles coming out of the pit lane as well. So he's about to be lapped. Drivers that still continue. They still press on despite not having the greatest of races. And I love to see that determination, just sticking with it. Glad to see that from some of the drivers here. As Merc still in the lead. Cookie was not close enough to get a move on last time around. We'll see how that develops as they are on the same tire, same distance traveled between those tire sets as well. And Yeah, it's really an eye-to-eye battle between Merckx and Cookie.
Very much so. Is it me? Or was it go real cloudy real quick?
It's not you.
It's good. It was definitely sunshine when we started, and the clouds have come in. I don't think we're facing rain. The tyre choices from the drivers would all indicate dry session.
Well, apart from Ollie.
Apart from Ollie, yeah. Ollie's the only one that didn't read the weather report.
Yeah, Ollie's is the one that looks like rain is coming, but Merckx is coming in now. 15 laps into his stint. He's the first one out of those top 3 at this point to pull the trigger, come into the pit lane, and that will be the hard tire. And yeah, surely there's not going to be any rain coming. If there was rain coming, there would be that would be the softs or the mediums, alternatively.
Yeah, no one would choose the hards, knowing that you're not going to run them for very long.
Yeah.
As Ollie is about to blast past Sneaky. Oh, he's got Merckx on his outside. Oh, this is going to get a little bit uncomfortable. Oh my goodness! I mean, Ollie has actually gone for it on the outside of turn 1, and there comes Sneaky. Oh, wow, that got very uncomfortable very, very quickly, but they have managed to sort it out between the 3 of them. Well, that was shaping up to be a very nasty mess, as I'm now seeing sunshine coming back out again, so yeah, the cloud cover is just teasing us at this point. I'm sure Ollie would actually like the clouds to remain, because it would allow the temperatures to drop a little bit and help those soft tires go a little bit longer, but under no amount of time management is going to make those things last. He's just out there for the fun of it. He's burnt his battery nearly down to nothing, so he's just out there for the fastest lap, and fair play, why not? Give it a try. He was in a Renault last season, if I recall.
Yeah, he was, and I think... No, I was going to say he was in a team with Lucky Finger, but I don't think that was the case. Oh, there goes Sneaky! Sneaky spins!
Oh,
Sneaky
no.
spins, resets to track. Is that allowed? That is the question. We caught him in 4K. Well, we caught him in 1080p, but but I don't know if that is allowed. What it certainly does is that his rear tires, as Ollie goes past Merckx now on the straight, lots of things happening. What it certainly does is that spin must have heated up those rear tires significantly. However, I'm also going to say, for those of you who've been watching some F1 2020 League racing on the last season, this game is a little different when it comes to tire temperature. The tire temperature, if the tire overheats, it's easier to get rid of it than it was on the last game. You don't have this issue where if you do spin once, oh, that's the tire set basically done for, and you can actually pull into the pit lane and get some new ones, because those ones will not cool down. It's not the case anymore. This time around, on this game, you just gotta be, a little careful for like a sector or 2, and they'll be back in their normal working range. So, that's a nice, I think, a nice improvement to the physics of the game. Those rear tires are no longer completely lit up and done for, but you can actually use them after about, a sector or 2 of being a little bit more cautious.
I tell you what, this is really going to help Merckx, because he's now going to get DRS off the back of a very, very quick Mercedes. So, is he going to challenge to the position? Let's have a look. Let's see what Merckx does. Is he going to challenge before? I doubt he's going to. Nope, and indeed he doesn't. And doesn't need to. Ollie's not going to be there for all that much longer. Another 2 to 3 laps, maybe. I think he's going to be getting to a point pretty soon where the best of those tyres are gone. But Cookie is continuing, so Cookie's trying to make these tyres last. Is he going to go for a soft set, do you think, after this one?
He's going to try it seems, because he's been out on those mediums for that long that it seems like he might want to go for softs later on and go for that medium to soft ones. Once again, I can't believe the driver's actually trying that. Very, very surprising to me. Sneaky is trying it the other way around, and now Cookie as well. At that point, I have to ask the question, why did he qualify on mediums if he knows that soft to medium is possible? I think if you want to be in as good a starting position as you possibly can, you have to qualify on the softest tire that is available for the best strategy. Alternate strategy, nice and cool and everything, pretty hip, as the young people might say. We're both too old for that. But but you know, I don't understand if he's going for that medium to soft strategy. The soft is available then in qualifying. Why didn't he use it? Why didn't he try to qualify on the soft? Very surprising to me. He could have easily had pole position by about what, 0.4 of a second possibly.
Do my eyes deceive me, or did Cookie just set the fastest lap on 18-lap old medium tires?
He did. He did. I'm very surprised by that, but he absolutely did. 0.5 quicker than Ollie.
Wow. Okay. Well, no one's told him that his tyres are probably a bit past their best.
I feel like
coming at some point anyway. So.
Yeah, I feel like Cookie's got some kind, like he's got magical tires, the ones that if you don't tell him that they are bad, then he won't know that they're bad, and they're still actually perfectly fine. One thing that needs to be said though is the fuel burned in these 19 laps that he has done now, of course, offsets some of that tire wear. Although you would expect the drop off by now to have happened, so for Cookie to not be there and actually be able to set fastest laps. Quite surprising. Faster than Sneaky as well. Mercked has passed Ollie now, as Ollie's in the pit lane, that's why. And he goes for mediums. I think that, yep, that will definitely go to the end on those medium tires, that's for sure. Velo, 3-second time penalty right there. He does get past Ollie, however. And Black Panther should be able to get past him as well. That's going to be close, actually. Where is that Merc? There it is on the right side. Yeah, I think Black Panther will not make it. That Merc is already up to... up to speed. And P7 for Ollie on fresh mediums, which should be, at this point, if we're going to compare this to Black Panther, those fresh mediums should be about a second a lap quicker. Maybe 1.2. And about 1.1 to 1.3 quicker than Velo's hard tires. So he should gain a significant amount of time each lap on those two drivers and gap Black Panther already enough to be out of that 1 second DRS window. To Velo, it's going to be a bit of a struggle to get there, but he will get there, I think, because that delta between the two tires also doesn't shrink that quickly. It's going to take a while because both of these tires are the most durable, and so every lap, that delta of what I said, 1.1 to 1.3 seconds between Ollie and Velo will go down by about, what, 700ths of a second, 800ths of a second. It's not even a full 10th that it goes down by. So it's very, very slim that he will get less and less of an advantage on those medium tires. So Ollie might be in for a hunt here on Velo.
Cookie's blatantly going for the softs.
Yeah,
I reckon
at this point, and not him, not just him, Raymond and J. Cole as well. They're on 20-lap old mediums too. Remarkable stuff from those three. Did not expect that to happen whatsoever. I'd always go for a more conservative strategy personally when it comes to that. It's just, I don't know, I don't like even having the possibility of the tire to pop. To get a puncture and then limp around the track incredibly slowly. But Cookie staying out once more, Raymond staying out, J. Cole staying out. They're going at least to the end of 22, which is just remarkable. And then 11 on the softs. I mean, if they can make mediums last 22... Oh, Black Panther's out!
Oh, no!
That's on the exit of 9, and that's on the right side into the wall. Yep, that's just a plain old spin. That's a plain old spin. Right side at the turn 9. Hits the exit curb a little bit too much. Spins on it. Off to the right side he goes. Into the wall. Game over for Black Panther. My goodness. He was in such a good position. He was in P8.
He was. Yeah, he was, he was on for a good handful of points there. That was a great shame because he'd done his stop. He was on 10-lap old hards before the end of his race. Oh dear, that's a great shame for him, but the race doth continue with another 11 laps to do as Cookie just coming into final few turns. He's got one of the Mercs ahead of him. I'm assuming that is D. Parry. Yes, it is. Let's see what he does now. Is he going to come in this time? Yes, he does. So that is going to be 11 laps on the soft tyres with a much lighter car. We'll see if he can pull it off.
Raymond follows in, and so does J. Cole. So 22-11 is the split that they're all going to go for for those tires for the medium and the soft. They both pull in at the same time, Cookie and Raymond, because of the gap that they had between each other and where the pit stalls were. They pulled into their pits at exactly the same time. Just about, 100 meters apart? Probably less than that, to be quite honest. But Cookie out on track again. And only 1.4 seconds behind Merckx.
And Parry has spun on the exit of turn 5, and his AI drove him into the wall trying to recover his car.
Oh.
So he's back on track again, right in front of the leader. That could prove a little awkward. Here comes Merckx. So Merckx, oh, there we go. He's has gotten out of the way. So Merckx on 6-lap-old hard tyres versus Cookie on brand new softs. That's going to be a very, very tall order. As RJW adds his name to the penalty board. What's the penalties looking like there? 6 seconds for him, 3 for everyone else that scored it, except for Ollie that is on 5 because of that speeding in the pit lane penalty for him. Oh, now I wonder if Merckx. Well, Merckx still has a chance. I mean, he's not going to be able to defend a great deal into turn 1. We've seen what the overspeed is like on matched tyres, let alone on 2-grade softer tyres on your chaser. So Cookie is going to fly past at this point. Rayman's really rushed out in the pit stop phase.
Not yet, because Merck got DRS off of Richards, the lapped car, and he's trying to get the slipstream as well. Maybe it's still going to work. Oh, this has shades of Ricardo Zonta. And Cookie actually does get the position on Merck. I can't believe that. That is a remarkable drive from Cookie there to use, and that wasn't the tires. That was absolutely not the tires. That was just straight line speed, using more ERS, I think, as well for Cookie, and just raw willpower that allowed Cookie to get that position there in the end. Cookie in the lead now, and he will drive away very, very quickly from Merckx.
Super Noob has spun on the exit of turn 10. He's got himself going again. Yeah, Cookie is now going to, as I say, car got a bit misbehaving on the exit of turn 9. So just catching up to the ghost of Dan Field. So this, of course, isn't going to pose a problem. Yep, there we go, straight through it. On goes Cookie. Another problem somewhere. Oh, is that Dan's car that's had a problem? Well, this car's ghosted on my screen, so... and there's a definite issue going on there, unfortunately. Oh, one of the Mercs is round. It's D. Parry again.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're looking at J. Cole right here. He's within half a second of Sneaky. That might be an opportunity for him to get P4. They're both on 3-second penalties as well, so this is an eye-to-eye battle between those two. Whoever gets the position is ahead of J. Cole down the inside, and that is as easy as you go right there. J. Cole up to P4, but I don't think we've seen the last chapter of this battle between J. Cole and Sneaky.
Nope, I fully agree with that. Now, Merckx is going to hope that those soft tyres die very quickly, but I don't reckon they're going to. Or if they will, they'll die too late for Merckx to be able to make a substantial difference. So Merckx is going to have to work very hard to maintain. I would say Rayman could potentially catch him before the race is done. We will see. I think Cookie, unless he makes a mistake or has an argument with the back marker, as Dan's got himself another 3-second penalty. Unless Cookie has some kind of misfortune, this is going to be 3 for 3 for him, as Rayman is just catching to the ghost of Rashaz. Red Bull shouldn't offer any particular problem, and indeed it does not for the Aston Martin. So yeah, Merckx, we'll see. This could still turn around for him, but he needs luck on his side, I think.
Yeah, and I just looked at the tires between J. Cole and Sneaky. Maybe this is the last we've seen of those two battle, considering Sneaky is on 14-lap-old medium tires, and J. Cole's on very fresh softs. I think the DRS brought Sneaky back within half a second here rather shortly, but I think once we are through Sector 1 and the first half of Sector 2 all the way up to Turn 8, then, and up to Turn 9 almost, then... the gap will possibly be over a second. It might get really close here, actually, between Sneaky and Velo. Sneaky's doing really good on those tires, needs to be said. Considering how old they are and how much of a disadvantage he has on J. Cole on these tires, he's doing very well to keep up with that Alfa Romeo in front.
That is true, as the field have finally kind of settled back into a rhythm. It's taken to lap 26 for them to do so. So fair play to them for giving us a great race here at Barcelona. This is not one of my favourites, but it has provided some amazing action, as the sim world tends to do. So Cookie now with over 4-second lead, utilising those wonderfully sticky soft tyres to the maximum. Merckx doing what he can, and that gap between himself and Rayman continuing to drop. 2.3 seconds when they cross the line. And J. Cole is... Did he pick up? Yeah, he did pick up DRS off the ghosted Red Bull of Rashad's there. So that
spin for Sneaky! Spin for Sneaky on the exit of turn 2. He's in the middle of the track there. Thankfully, everyone else gets by. Has to spin the car around, and does, and he is going again. The worst thing that could happen for Haas right now, he's going off into the grass to let by the Merc of Ollie there. And sacrificing his own race there just to not interfere with someone else as he rejoins the track. Honestly, that's a very respectful gesture there by Sneaky. I gotta say, kudos for that. But P7 for him now. And those rear tires again are going to be lit up after this, especially after spinning them again just to get the car turned around. So he's going to have to take a couple of minutes there. But the worst thing that could happen for Haas, I think, is that Sneaky causes a safety car that then brings Merckx onto the back of Cookie. As the soft tires wear out more and more, Merckx might have a chance to get that position back if there was a safety car, but now it's almost 5 seconds. Now it's going to be difficult, but with a safety car, there wouldn't be 5 seconds. There'd be half a second, plus a potential tire advantage later on in the race, and Merckx might be right there. So really, really good from Sneaky there to not cause a safety car, try and get going as quickly as possible, not just for his own race, but also for his teammates' race. And we are still under green flag. And 4.8 still the gap between Cookie and Merckx. 4.9 now. It's not increasing much anymore. I think we might be near the crossover. Now it's 5 seconds. But yeah, the gap itself is too much for Merckx to get back. As J. Cole...
Another one.
Yeah, this second now. You mentioned it. He wasn't really known for that last season at all. He was usually one of those drivers, when everyone else got a penalty, he was still penalty free. This time around, maybe the game is a little different. The handling is a little bit too on the knife's edge for him. And so he's struggling a bit more with track limits. But interesting to see how a game and slight, or in this case, you know, moderate handling modifications can change the way drivers operate, to the point where previous, let's call them traits, like staying penalty free, go completely out of the window, and quite the opposite happens. There is no driver apart from Ollie with that 5 second speeding in the pit lane. No driver who's got more penalties than J. Cole. There's RJW with 6, just like J. Cole, but no one apart from Ollie has more. So very surprising to see.
Indeed, indeed. At the moment, it doesn't make a difference for J. Cole, as Velo behind him has 3 seconds of penalties, and that gap is 7.6. So, as it stands, it's not going to make much of a difference, but if J. Cole pushes it too much, a Sniper now doesn't want to be left out of the penalty party, as he adds his name to it. Only 4 drivers remaining have not got a penalty. That is Cookie, Merckx, Super Noob, and D. Parry. That lead up front now 6.7 seconds, near enough. So Cookie doesn't need to push absolutely, 11 tenths at this point. He can let off a little bit. Like I said, I don't think there's going to be enough of a tyre drop off for Merckx to be able to.
Oh!
Well, that reduces the gap somewhat, but not enough for Merckx to be able. Well, not enough yet.
Yeah. Yet. This might not be all that important right now, but psychologically for Merckx, he sees this. He knows this now. He knows the net gap is only 3.7 seconds. And he's going to try to push as much as he can. Before that, I think I was about to say, as soon as you were finished, I was about to say Merc right now probably has 1.9 of his 2 eyes in the rearview mirrors and 0.1 looking ahead at the track to somewhat see where he's going, to not completely mess up. But he's fully focused on the rearview mirrors, not so much anymore now with that 3-second penalty. But Cookie's still driving too quickly, still gaining out some time. It was 6.5 last time, now it's 7.1. And this right-hander that we just went through, that long 180-degree right-hander of turn 12 is the one where Merc loses a lot of that time. 2/10 roughly, maybe even 3, every single time he goes through there.
Yeah, with only 3 laps to go, Merc still needs some luck to be able to overhaul that gap. So Cookie still has of course, the one hand on the winner's trophy at the moment. Still a few laps to do. Rayman is now within DRS range, but he's got that 3-second penalty on his name, so he would need to overhaul, of course, the position and 3 seconds at this point. What is the warning count for Merc? Let me just have a quick look at that. Completely clean sheet. Not a single warning. That is remarkable.
Yeah.
On a track that almost everybody has got at least one penalty, he doesn't even have a warning. Wow, that is stunning.
Yeah, that is the quality of Merc, I think. We've seen that before from him as well, that he really keeps it penalty-free and warnings-free as well oftentimes. I usually am the kind of person, whenever I race, I'm the kind of person to go, 2 warnings that you can get without a penalty means you got 2, get out of jail free cards, basically. If you want to defend a bit later, you just go slightly off track, get that 1 warning, but you keep the position. So you got 2 get out of jail free cards during the race. Merc did not so much, or maybe he just keeps them for this late. But I would be very surprised if he were to use them up now. That's how I always look at it. But, for other drivers, I think it's a little bit of pride as well to be like, hey, I did not leave the track once. I did not have a single warning at the end of this race. And this is the sort of stuff that gets you positions, it gains you points, literally. This is, if you want to gain points in league racing, all of you league racers out there that might be watching, just stay penalty free while everyone else racks them up, as we see here. We have, out of the 14 drivers still running, we have 11 with penalties. And right now, it might not get Merc any extra points, but if he's going to be overtaken by Raymond, he will get that position back on penalties, so he won't mind too much. And that's still 3 points that he gets just because he stayed penalty free.
So what just made me giggle just then, according to my screen, Dan Field has no racing helmet on.
Yeah, that happens on this game sometimes. I've had that before. It's not exactly recommended by health and safety, but, we do like that. Raymond, meanwhile, goes for the move on Merc. That might not be all too consequential in the final results, but hey, on track at P2 for Raymond in the Aston Martin. I think he'll be very happy with that. There's a Merc pulling out of the way. I think that was D. Parry. For sure that was D. Parry. J. Cole will also come to lap him in just a second. And Raymond holding on to that second place right now. But that 3-second gap that he would have to drive out, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. 0.4 right now. DRS as well for Merc. And knowing how clever of a driver Merc is, the racing IQ that he has, he's not going to go for a move here. He's not going to be silly. He's just going to sit behind. He knows the car in front has 3 seconds, and he's going to chill. Meanwhile, Cookie coming through the final couple of corners.
He does indeed. There's a backmarker ahead of him. That's not going to make any difference. Your winner here at Barcelona for League of Europe Season 3 is, once again, it is Cookie. Second on the road, but will be overhauled to third. He's going to be Rayman on the Aston Martin. Promoted to second is a Merc in the McLaren. J. Cole comes home in 4th place. Velo, his teammate, will be in 5th. Sneaky, what might have been led for a while, but is now down into 6th position following his spin in the second half, but home he comes nonetheless. Fastest lap 1:15.6. Dear Lord. Actually, there were two drivers with a 15.6. One of them was Ollie, who will be coming home in 7th. But by 400ths of a second, Cookie has stolen the fastest lap from the Mercedes. Ollie now over the line. RJW is going to be in 8th place very shortly. And Dan is racking up all the penalties on his own. As he's already crossed the line. So that's an unserved penalty he's just added to his tally. Lucky Finger. A relatively quiet race. He comes home in the Williams in 9th, and Sniper in the Alpine is going to round out those on the lead lap. Super Noob, Rashars, Dan, and D Parry having already finished. We lost Black Panther, Sven, and Kango Khan in the course of the race.
Damn, what a race it was. I mean, long battles going on there. Very, very different tire strategies, and Lucky Finger getting a driver of the day. I'm gonna have to see where he started and where he finished, but I'm not sure I fully agree with that. I think if I had to go for a driver of the day, I probably Lucky Finger got 3 positions. So did Raymond, and so did J. Cole. So I'd give it to Raymond personally. He pulled off a very, very risky strategy, maybe even murked, although for his lack of penalties there. But I think Rayman finishing in P3, P2 on track. What could have been without the penalties, but actually he might have that removed potentially. Let me check the race director, because remember he did get the 3-second penalty. Yeah, he might get that removed because it's an invalid left turn. That was a straight up 3-second time penalty where he left the track to correct a mistake. He might have that removed at the end and might get P2 back.
Fair point indeed. Yeah, and I would have gone either Rayman or Mercked as well for my driver of the day. But I just loved the counter attack that Mercked put on. I think it was Cookie earlier on in the race where it was Cookie. So Cookie had him into turn 1 and Mercked had him back at turn 3. That did it for me. You can accuse me of McLaren bias, and I'll take that accusation. But yeah, too worthy. I mean, you can't fault Cookie. That was a brilliant strategy and a ungodly fastest lap as well. But as far as driver of the day, I'll go McLaren with an honourable mention to the Aston Martin.
Yeah, for me, obviously the other way around. And that's my Aston Martin bias right there. In the same way you're somewhat of a McLaren fan, I'm somewhat of an Aston Martin fan, of course, because of that one driver that they have who isn't the son of the owner, and who is a 4-time world champion in his own right.
National
of course,
pride. Nothing
exactly, and a little bit of Britain. I'll take that with it, but it's there. But mostly the German part. But that will be it for the League of Europe Spain. We will be back next week with, you mentioned before the stream to me that is a track you very much like, and I'm not surprised because it is the home of McLaren, it is the home of Aston Martin, it is the home of British motor racing. It is, of course, Silverstone. Next week, Friday at 8 p.m. UK. We'll be there. Hopefully you will be as well. Oh no, we have interviews. Hold up. We have interviews. Are they joining? That is the question. I was too quick there.
I can't see anybody else in the Discord.
Yeah, we're gonna ask them then very quickly. Top 3 for interviews ? There we go. We'll see if they're gonna join. If not, then that would be the end. But otherwise, I think we do have a couple of things to talk about here. Obviously, in this race, especially, I'm pretty sure you have a question or two for Mercked.
Well, I mean, I'd love to if he's willing to. So we will see if they are willing to come and join us. They are, of course. It's not mandatory; they don't have to come and chat to us. Not everybody does, but we will see what happens there. Oh, we have got someone, and we have been joined by our race winner. Cookie, are you with us?
Yes, hello.
3 for 3. Well, that's not a bad way to introduce yourself to League of Europe now, is it, sir?
No, it's not. I mean, I've raced PlayStation, but yeah, didn't have that much luck there, and probably maybe a little bit less competition here. So yeah, it's not that hard. I gotta be honest.
Wow, his confidence. But I mean, there was no faulting your performance at all. You were challenged for a while, but were you pretty confident on running the mediums that long?
Yeah. I was pretty confident. Have had like 74% by the time I went to the pits, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I was just managing the tires, didn't push really in the first stint. But yeah, just saving the tires and keeping it on track.
And that you certainly did, sir. Silverstone next time out. What's your thoughts towards the British Classic?
It's a fun track. Definitely gonna be challenging. But yeah, I'm gonna try and go 4 for 4.
Maybe a last to first challenge for you?
Nah, because that's gonna kind of screw my power ranking rating. So.
Fair play.
I was trying to go for pole as well, but unfortunately, I screwed up my last run on softs. But yeah, happy for the result.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Great stuff. Thank you very much for putting on a great performance, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much, Cookie. Mr. Badgerman, all yours.
I honestly don't have any more questions. We have, however, 2 more drivers in here. We have Rayman, who finished 3rd after penalties. However, Rayman, I do have one question for you. Talk us through that penalty. What exactly happened there? Because I don't think it was a 3rd warning 3-second time penalty, was it?
Actually, it was my my 2nd warning. The car just bounced up and I couldn't turn or anything. So, but I got like 2 more warnings after that, so I don't think I can get the penalty removed, sadly.
Well, from what I saw in the race director was that you got a straight up 3-second penalty, not just a warning there. You might be able to have that removed. I don't know. I would, if I were you, I'd probably try to fight it. What's the worst that can happen? It gets rejected and you're still 3rd. So,
yeah.
You're always going to fall back to that podium. What was it like? What was the race like? Talk us through it.
I was actually very surprised to be able to keep up with the pace. I also tried to qualify on softs, but that failed miserably. Invalid and a crash. So soft pace, not that good. You could just see Cookie driving away easily by like a second a lap. So yeah, I'm very happy with the podium.
All right, Kodiak, any questions from you?
No, I'm all good on this side. Just congratulations, well done. More of the same, please.
Thank
you. That is Rayman, who at the moment at least stands 3rd on the podium, and that may well change as the days goes on. One more driver in with us. It is the Commander-in-Chief here at LOE for the PC side. Hello, J. Cole. Glad to see you back in the box, sir.
Yeah, good evening, lads. Thank you as always, for your absolutely brilliant comms.
A great pleasure as always. Well, look at you with the soft tire strategy.
I didn't know if it was going to work at first, I'm not going to lie. But, I'm kind of glad it did pay off. It's just annoying about getting those penalties, I must admit.
You were 4th, I think it was on the road. I've already forgotten. That's how bad my memory is. What a stormy performance. A track that really isn't easy to overtake on. Were you looking forward to Barcelona before tonight?
Honestly, I would say it's one of my weaker tracks, but I'd still say I've done a good job at trying to get as much as I can. I said if it wasn't for those penalties, I would have been on the podium. But I suppose we go next week for it.
Yeah, Silverstone next time around, home turf for us. You looking forward to that one?
Probably one of my favourite tracks. It goes from one of my worst tracks to one of my best tracks. Nice. So I'm hoping I can try and maybe pick up a podium, maybe even try and challenge Cookie if I'm getting that optimistic. But yeah, hopefully try and get a podium at least.
Anything from you, Herr Badgerman?
Yeah, you mentioned the penalties. Last season, you were known as someone who got very few penalties. This race was very uncharacteristic for you. Is this because of the new game, or what would you put it down? Is it just because you dislike the track? What would you put it down to?
Oh, let me get my scroll out. No, I'd definitely say track being one of them. The fact I've also gone to no line this game as well. So I've just sort of picked that up full time. I haven't really done too much on space. That's probably why I'm quite bad at track. But yeah, I mean, still fourth overall. I think it was just more I need to just pick it up a bit more, and I kind of just got into my groove after that. So
All right. Then once again, congratulations on the 4th place, getting some more points for the standings.
thank you.
And thank you very much for the interview.
Yeah, I said thank you guys as always.
A great pleasure. It always is. And that is going to wrap it up here for tonight. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream, either live or post-event. Always a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you very much, Herr Badgerman, for keeping me on the straight and narrow. It's always a difficult task for you, but you weather the storm well.
It's not that difficult. Not as difficult as you make it sound. But yeah, very much enjoyed this one. Looking forward to the next one. Silverstone, great track. Usually makes for great racing IRL, and especially even more so on the game.
Very true. Of course, favoritism kicking in again. I won't deny it is one of my favorite tracks. Not my absolute favorite. That belongs to Belgium. But I do love Silverstone, and I'm sure that many of our drivers do. Of course, Jake Hole's saying that it's one of his stronger tracks. I'm sure he won't be alone. Do join us then, same time, same day, next week for Silverstone, round number 4 of the League of Europe, season number 3, PC side. Until then, thank you very much, and good night!